Hey VC, I'm going to do a video, which I haven't done for a long time, called What's in My Box. Here's my box down here. And that's all my current records, but this is my main collection. So without further ado, there's quite a few to get through here. These are the records I've been picking up, playing, and they're in my sort of current playlist in this wonderful Atlantic box down here. So hope you enjoy. It's going to be fairly rapid fire. Probably the Barclay James Harvest album with the worst sleeve design. It's called Victims of Circumstance on Polydor. Had never heard it, got it on eBay. Picked up a really good copy of Surf's Up yesterday at Oxfam. It's on the EMI Stateside label. Really pleased to have that one. My favourite Depeche Mode album, Ultra, reissue. Had to get that. Found this in the cheapie bin at Oxfam. It's Jerry Rafferty's Snakes and Ladders. And I'm not sure what label that one's on. It's on United Artists. So I think that came out in the 80s. I think it was after Baker Street, although I'm not sure. We'll have a look. Found a couple of Record Store Day leftovers. This is one. Queen, We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champions, 12-inch. Nice, cheap Ray Thomas album from Mighty Oaks. He of the Moody Blues. Looking forward to that. I believe it's on Threshold. Yeah, it's got it in there, but it's on Threshold, Moody Blues label. Once again, haven't spun that. Looking through the cheapie bins, and this special promotional copy, which is actually not a sticker, that's actually in the sleeve. It's called Night and Daydream by Ananta. I understand that it's sort of like a prog stroke pop album, so I'll be interested to see what that sounds like, but it was only $2.99. I'm on a bit of a Depeche Mode kick at the moment. Really love Depeche Mode. Went to see them on their latest tour. Managed to get a VIP ticket. And I thought I'd dig out some of the more recent Depeche Mode on vinyl that I've got. So I was giving Delta Machina a spin the other day. Couldn't resist this one. Recent pickup. Played it to death already. Gentle Giant 3-piece suite. Amazing double album on 180 gram. Not too expensive. It has tracks from those first 3 albums there. And so that's Gentle Giant, Acquiring the Taste, and 3 Friends. And it's remixed by Stephen Wilson. Absolutely stunning. Record Store Day, celebrating Farewell to King's 40th anniversary. Rush, Closer to the Heart. What is on the other side? Madrigal. So I'll be giving that a spin later. Picked up a Love album. This was the predecessor to the other one, which has Alone Again. And this is an Elektra Summer of Love special on a reissue brown Elektra label. It's actually pretty good, but it's not as good as the big one. Managed to get hold of a really clean copy of JeanMichel Jarre's Oxygen, Polydor. Everybody should know this one. But normally they're pretty, this is a French one, Disc Motors. This is, they're normally pretty beat up, so finding one that was actually playable was good. This is Catch a Bullet 4. It was one of the few Cat Stevens that I didn't have. Notice the crispiness of that. Cat Stevens, very cool there. The big single on this is, what is it? Oh, Can't Keep It In. And it's on Island. It's got the original blue inner. And it is on a sort of Island custom logo, which is custom label, which is pretty cool. Love that. Digging around again, found a very low price Leonard Cohen. The songs of Leonard Cohen, the classic first album. This is in mono on CBS, so very pleased to get hold of that one. It sounds great, certainly after a clean. Paul Simon songbook, must have been the same guy who gave these to Oxfam, because I've got a few. So, you know, Leonard Cohen and that Paul Simon, which is a great album. Went to see the amazing Robert Plant do his new album Carry Fire. It was one of the best gigs I've been to. They played loads of Led Zepp tracks really well, very sort of with Eastern tinges, really cool. Found a Sandy Denny, and whenever I see one, if I haven't got it, I pick it up. It's on Island blue inner, and it's the classic pink rim, very clean again, from Oxfam in Bristol, and it's called North Star Grassman and the Ravens. Never heard of this one until I found it and then looked it up, and of course it's everywhere. Some great musos on here, Richard Thompson and quite a few others from Fairport days, Jerry Donahue, Jerry Conway on drums, Trevor Lucas on acoustic. So that was a great find. Marillion released a 12-inch from Fear called Living in Fear, special limited and numbered edition. Oh yeah, it's got the numbering at the top. This is number 1651 of 2000. Pick that up online. Always like to get those Marillion 12-inch. And talking of 12-inch, there's a band called Secret Machines who I really love, and they have great album covers. And this is from an album, what's the album called? I can't remember what it's called. 7 Little Drops or something. And this is Alone, Jealous and Stoned. And it's a 12-inch, and it is on clear vinyl. And it's one-sided. So that was the wrong side, so there you go. One-sided. Great track. 6 minutes 46, so pleased to have that. I'm an absolute War on Drugs fan. This is the new album, A Deeper Understanding. Haven't got into it that much, not as much as the predecessor, but it's still a great album. I just need to get time to spin it again. Really cool band. This is on clear vinyl on the Atlantic label. Came out a few months ago, and it's got it's a double album. Pretty good, really damn good. Neil Young, can't help picking these up when I see the new Neil Youngs. This isn't the latest, which isn't out on vinyl yet. The latest one's only out on CD, so I've ordered that. But this is Neil Young Hitchhiker. It was released around 76, sort of harvest period, and it is, oh no, it's recorded between Zuma and something else. What was the one after Zuma? I'm trying to think, can't think, but they didn't release this, and it's actually a great album. The pressing's not great though, it's a bit scratchy. It's got Pocahontas on this one, which you might know. Very good, classic Neil Young. Because of Stephen Wilson, I'm a fan of Nick Beggs, always have been. His bass playing is absolutely amazing. Met him and Stephen Wilson at a signing, and I ordered this, The Mute Gods, which is his band, Nick Beggs' band. He signed it up here, and it's called Tardigrades Will Inherit the Earth. It's a strange album. I've got his other one as well that he's released, quite full on, much heavier than Stephen Wilson, but still good spin nonetheless. Life Signs, Cardington. I don't know why I ordered this. I must have seen it somewhere, and I played it. It's not my favourite album. Probably need to give it more time. But for some reason, I thought Nick Beggs was in that band, but I'm clearly wrong. But anyway, it's not too bad. I'll probably spin it again, it'll be fine. I've always been looking for Caravan for girls who grow plump in the night, and I managed to find a really clean Durham label. So very pleased to have that. It wasn't expensive. Slowly picking up the Abbey Road remasters half-speed mastering. This time it's Eno, Here Come the Warm Jets. Fantastic album. I had this when it first was released. I've also got Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy as well, but can't resist that when they drop in price. And same goes for this, the best Velvet Underground in my opinion. This is the reissue of the classic with the banana, which does actually peel off, but I'm not going to peel it. But a fantastic album nonetheless. And a few others towards the end of the box here. This is a special edition Foo Fighters. Only available from their website, from their merch store. It's got a black sleeve. Otherwise, it's exactly the same as their last album. I think all the labels are the same. It's just having that black sleeve with the black embossed rather than the gold. It's a great album actually. Saw the Foos at Glastonbury, really cool. Also saw this band, The National and Sleepwell Beast. This is a stunning album. The System Only Dreams in Total Darkness. We saw it live. It is sensational. This album is their best yet, in my humble opinion. And this one comes on white vinyl. But it's just such a great album. It's much heavier. I mean, I always thought The National were quite ambient until I heard this. Saw them live. They're absolutely stunning. One of my favourite albums from the Rolling Stones. Once again, reissue, selling off cheap. And it doesn't have the lenticular cover, but it's still quite a nice shiny sleeve. And it's a great pressing, very strange album. It was their answer to Sgt. Pepper's. And it's just really good. And I got into this quite late. I went up to London late 70s, early 80s, and we were staying with my girlfriend's aunt, theatrical, and all the people in this sort of house stroke squat were from the theatre, and her aunt's boyfriend had that album, and I wasn't working at the time, and so I played that to death. Really loved it. Loved to get an original copy like he had. Got a very cheap copy of, I think it's Stevie Nicks' most popular album, produced and arranged by Rupert Hine, who I've met. This has got on it, what's it got on it? Whole Lot of Trouble, All My Love, Long Way to Go, Rooms on Fire, Ghosts. Very good album. One of her better ones. Classic Stevie. Roy Harper albums, whenever I can find them, I always pick them up. Had this on CD for ages. Jugular, Harper and Robert Plant. I think they're pretty spaced out when they made this, but it's a fantastic album. It's on Second Sight label. Very good album. Very pleased to pick that one up. And once again, he's doing a lot of reissues, but I managed to find a great copy of this one, which is The Unknown Soldier, gatefold. I know it's not a gatefold, but it's on Harvest, but it's a sort of custom label on Harvest. So that's an original. Glad to find that one. Like I say, you don't often see them. So to find that was really cool. Hold on, something's just creased in the bottom of that. Not great. There's an inner sheet there, and something else actually. Oh, it's a little cutting from Roy Harper's new single, Short and Sweet, issued by Harvest this weekend, Cold, from the album Unknown Soldier. So that's nice. There's a little cutting in there, which I didn't know I had, which whoever owned this album before me obviously threw in there, so that's great. Oh, there's a bigger. There's also another cutting about this album. So that's great. Oh, look forward to reading that, and I hadn't seen that they were in there, so very pleased to get that. There's also a photocopy of the release notes, so that's very cool. Someone's printed those off, so very happy to have those. Don't think it's a promo, but nice to have all the bits and pieces in there, and press cuttings anyway. I've got really into A Big Train, and this is Grimm's Pound. It's a very good album. Again, fantastic musicianship, very folky stroke, sort of prog, and in sort of Coca-Cola coloured vinyl. That's a great album. And there was another album that came out, like a sister album to this one, which had sort of other tracks they couldn't fit on that album, and it's called The Second Brightest Star, and here it is. Also great. Most of these are instrumental only. And then finally I got hold of a copy of, it's actually a later copy, it's not an original, of John Barleycorn Must Die. This is Steve Winwood's favourite album of his. It's on the orange, green and blue Iron label. Gatefold, fantastic album. If you haven't heard it, I absolutely recommend this. So there's a quick run through of what's in my box. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to do a more detailed video about David Sylvian. I was watching another video from one of the other YouTubers talking about David Sylvian, and I've got a lot of really good CDs, and I thought I'll whip those out and go through those. I've also got some albums as well. So I'll talk about that on my next video. See you later.